PS4 controller on the PS5, running some BO3. Finally got my mic working because it was a PS5 issue. And honestly, I think I might like the PS4 controller a little more. Just being completely real, I think I like it a bit more than the PS5, especially for playing claw. Yeah, it's a lot more comfy, man. This actually feels really nice. So I can't wait to hop into this game, see what I got. Let's get it. Oh, we'll run the M14. Sense feeling a little weird. Pretty high sense for me.
Be advised, hostile care package overhead.
I guess you need a pretty high sense in this game, am I wrong? Holy shit, yeah, this sense feels retarded on a PS4 controller. And I feel like I have a bit more input lag. Or input delay, I'm sorry.
Leader gone. Tango down. Sniper!
I'm gonna change this sense up really fast. Shit, we're detected. Where is this at?
Demo splashed.
I'm probably gonna hop off the M14. I'm feeling kind of trash with it, especially since my aim. I mean, I guess it's good practice, right?
Overwatch kill.
But holy shit, I'm just like...
Ready for tasking.
They're gone.
Counter UAV awaiting orders.
In position, ECM deployed. Establish perimeter at 10,000 feet AGL.
Counter UAV destroyed.
Destroy my shit.
Destroyed your UAV.
Be advised, hostile HCXD spotted.
Damn. Holy shit, I'm ass.
Reaper jumped. Armor down.
Hostile RAPS deploy ship overhead.
Raps?
Hostile UAV spotted.
Oh fuck, buddy. You might be cooked, brother.
Threat neutralized.
Failing the accord. Fight harder. Black Ops RTB for debrief.
It's an utter cluster.
They come out in the first quarter, usually score points.
What a move for James Harden. He signs his autograph on the game.
Every day an upgrade. Nothing unusual with San Antonio, Brian. They come.
Top one of his own. Boy.
Brings a vigilante who beats up all the criminals.
Alright, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today we're going to be talking about a situation I've been seeing kind of unfold on the timeline, and it's pretty in line with a lot of other situations that have happened
Locked
on
and loaded.
YouTube. I feel like, maybe not to a certain degree that some people have been doing things like this, but it seems like fair use and react content and all these different things over the last, especially few months, have just been really hot buttons. And I don't know, man, I feel like it's pretty cut and dry. Like, we already kind of have established standards for how content creators in the community are supposed to act towards one another, and quite a big point that's not necessarily unspoken, but just kind of like comes from the parents, if that makes sense, is the idea that you don't falsely copyright claim, realistically, copyright claim anyone's content for any reason that's not for copyright-related issues. And unfortunately, a lot of creators, this is what they do. You know, they don't like a video that somebody makes about them. They don't like a video, whatever, you know, and the first thing that they'll do is they'll try and get the video copyright claimed and take it down. Now, not only is it technically illegal, but it's also against
Holy
YouTube
shit, I'm
rules,
actually
and
sped.
it's also pretty unspoken once again, in the community. You're not supposed to do that. Not very well looked upon. So today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a creator by the name of Dark Viper AU, which honestly is actually a creator I enjoy. I watch a lot of his Grand Theft Auto 5 videos in depth about the lore and whatnot, so I actually like this guy. I enjoy his content, but a pretty serious allegation has been brought up against him in terms of copyright claims and whatnot. Now, Dark Viper AU, he's already kind of had, I would say, spotty history with reaction streamers and reaction content creators in general. A few years ago, he made like this big post or whatever about React content, which in it he essentially compared React streamers to people who go around in real life and drug and rape people. So I feel like he's got, let's say, a little bit of a tendency to overblow/overplay how they do videos. Anyway, this whole situation is revolving around him and another creator by the name of Irrational Chad, who apparently made a video where he kind of like was talking about Dark Vipers, responding to a video he made, and
How did I not see him, bro?
Dark Viper AU has copyright claimed it twice now, according to what we're about to take a look at here, and has failed both times, but continues to try to do it. And not only this, but when anyone asks him about the situation, anyone kind of like brings it up, he just shrugs it off and brushes it away. His moderators come up with convenient excuses for why they're deleting messages surrounding the entire thing, why people are, asking questions and whatnot and getting deleted. So I think it's important to talk about, right? Because, I mean, I think it's dumb when you get into these, right? I mean, sure, I'm certain as a creator myself, it's not fun when other people make a negative video about you or they critique what you have to say or whatever. But that's part of what this whole thing is, man. Like, that's part of the job here, right? So this all really started about 16 hours ago for me when I saw this tweet from Irrational Chat that says, Dark Viper AU, the absolutely pathetic specimen that he is, has tried to copyright strike my coverage of his video about React content. Sadly, YouTube have kicked it back and said they believe my content is protected by their rules. And you can see the email here that lists, the video, the legal name, everything, yada, yada, yada. All of the details that YouTube will give you whenever a copyright claim is made against your video. And it's claiming, at least from the, information that was given and whatnot here, that this was something coming from Matthew Judge, who is the owner of the Rambles podcast, and it has his Dark Viper email attached. So this is Dark Viper AU, who is making the copyright claim, or is this not his belief that it could even personally have been somebody who was like an impersonator of Dark Viper, right? I mean, we didn't really know. No one really knew. This was Irrational Chat goes to Twitter and starts talking about it, starts addressing it to the public and whatnot, right? And people start asking questions because, once again, as a content creator, this is quite a serious allegation to make. So the YouTuber Nicholas went to, I guess, one of Dark Viper's streams, and he asked him a question about the DMCA strike. Essentially asking Dark Viper, like, if he was the one who issued the strike against Logic, and who's also Irrational Chat. And this was his
Fuel check complete.
Just wanted to clarify if that was you
UAV mission timeline 50% check.
Nicholas, I know you're a Fister. I don't care.
UAV priority request received. Rerouting. Thanks for the work. Counter UAV.
Alright, so you can see that's not obviously a response to the question. He just kind of takes a shot at Nicholas Diorio. Now, I mean, Nicholas Diorio, he is a shitster. He's a commentary guy. That's what he says. To not stir shit. I mean, he wants to answer the question. But, I mean, ultimately, Dark Viper AU put a pot of shit on the stove to cook. So, I mean, I don't really know if we need to throw around the shit. Because, I mean, ultimately, this whole situation would have never happened if Dark Viper AU did not issue the copyright claim. And, I mean, when you see videos like this, it's kind of hard to give the guy the benefit of the doubt that he's not the one who personally issued these things. So, for these copyright claims.
Pussy is in a corner.
But as the, first tweet that we took a look at here kind of...
You're in a corner in TDM, bro.
...the right thing, and they deemed the coverage of Dark Viper AU's video to be fair use, and they stuck up for it, which, honestly, man, I'm not gonna lie, that really did surprise me. KIA. Decisions, a lot of the times, they just completely fuck up. And then shrug their shoulders. shoulders and walk away. But after this first attempt from, you know,
I'm dying to
Dark
bums.
Viper didn't work, there was a second email and a second claim issued after YouTube denied the first one. Update, I have received a second email from YouTube. Dark Viper attempted to copy the form.
Threat neutralized.
Is here. Now in all new colors, like gray and other gray. Less and more boundaries. This is innovation. Or is real innovation refurbished? Because high quality devices aren't yet to come. They're already here. Let them buy new. We'll buy back market.
Strike both the stream of my coverage and the edited video of my coverage. Fortunately, this has also been knocked back by YouTube. So, when the first attempt didn't work, Dark Viper then apparently attempted to do it again. Not even just on the stream of me edited video. I mean, honestly, at this point,
ready for test.
it was already ridiculous. Now it's just getting out of hand, right? YouTube already stepped in the first time and said, like, look, dude, this is fair use. There's no need for this. And yet, Dark Viper is continuing to try to get this. So, the coverage, obviously, of Dark Viper AU in the first place was a little more negative, okay? It was a little bit more critical from what I've read and what everything is saying here. So that might be the potential motive why Dark Viper AU would have struck the video or, like, claimed the video, is because basically Chud was, I guess, somehow being too truthful or, like, was being too critiqued, you know? Whatever you want to say. Regardless, it's a pretty fucking weak justification for trying to get out of somebody.
Reaper jumped.
I mean, just because you don't like what somebody has to say about you, you don't just go around fucking copyright claiming for that. I mean, there's been plenty of people who made videos and there's videos, there are uploads, there's all kinds of things. And I don't go out of my way to copyright claim any of this shit because it's a genuinely pathetic move to just use the copyright system as a way to try and get rid of people criticizing you. I mean, if you're going to voice your opinion, if you're going to put shit out there online,
Clean kill.
you have to be willing for people to talk back and, like, actually address it. And for those of you who are going to come here and make the argument, oh, well, what Chud did was not fair use. You can't just take kind of what people are already trying to defend Dark Viper with, right? Is, oh,
Friendly
you can't just
counter
use somebody
UAV
else's video, you can't just upload somebody else's content,
battle
you
is
can't
ours
just take
to
someone
lose.
else's shit. So, these are people who clearly either don't understand what fair use actually means, or they don't care and they're just being disingenuous, because based on pretty much any real interpretation of fair use, I mean, what Mr. Ashton Chad or Chud Logic here did was fair use. I mean, the original video by Dark Viper AU was like 9 minutes. Okay? The Irrational Chad / Chud Logic takes that video and then spins it into a 35-minute video responding to it, which is 4 times as long as the original video. It's a critique/commentary video which is expressly protected in every definition of fair use. I mean, anyone with a fucking brain can tell that this is a pretty clear case of fair use based on what we're seeing here. It doesn't matter what percent of the original content you use or whatnot, as long as it's transformative, that's fair use. Someone can take a 12-minute Optimus video, and they can make an hour-long video of them responding to every little thing that I've said, and that's fair use. Someone can fucking take their video down because it was too critical. So anyone who knows what fair use is going to probably have to side with Chud here, Chad, and then, you know, once again, he dodged Nick when he asked him about it. So Keemstar, I guess, donated and asked, did you really false flag Chud? I'm not a shit starter, I'm a respected journalist. I mean, it's Keemstar. Once again, to call him Keemstar, not a shit starter.
It's a hostile market.
I mean, let's be serious here, but, I mean, it's a fair question. Like, it's really not, it's not a gotcha or anything here, you know what I mean? But essentially, after this, Keemstar's donation was deleted by a moderator. Now, the moderator claims that they were trying to, like, verify or view the profile to make sure this was, like, the real drama alert and not someone just, like, you know, ripping them off and, like, lying or whatever. But somehow they accidentally ended up misclicking and hit the delete button or something. That's what the moderator said in chat. That's the, response or whatever. Pretty convenient that donation got deleted right after Nicholas's got completely ignored and watched over by Dark Viper himself.
You better be
Then
here
also
to train.
now, today,
Don't waste
people
my
are
time,
saying
all
that
right?
over on the Dark Viper
go.
subreddit, anytime anyone brings up anything about this, the Reddit moderators are now going onto there and deleting any sort of critical or questioning post about Dark Viper. So Dark Viper himself dodged the question. One of his YouTube mods deleted a donation asking about it. There's people saying that the subreddit is basically cracking down and banning people from talking about it. It's just, that's fucking weird. I'm sorry. That's a really weird thing to do. If you're going to make the copyright strike and you're going to even push it through a second time, and you truly, genuinely feel justified in whatever reasoning or rationale that you did this with,
Yo, chat.
simply defend it, right? How can't you just answer a basic question? I mean, when I personally feel like I'm in the right and I'm not doing something wrong, and I'm actually benefiting or something from my side of the story, I'm willing to defend it and actually explain my rationale. Yeah, I didn't think I should run over that cat because it's alive and I shouldn't hurt other things. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things where if you don't feel like you're doing something wrong, what is the harm in explaining something that you've already made publicly knowledgeable about, right? You've already, the cat's out of the bag. You already let the world know that you issued the copyright claims when you dodged the question and when you continue to justify it in that way, and your moderators are deleting anything about it, right? So if it's so good to do and you're comfortable in doing it, why can't you just address it? It's not starting shit. It's not, stirring the pot or whatever, right? It's the situation that you yourself already put out there. So it's one of those things where we're I like Dark Viper, I like his GTA videos, but come on, bro. I'm not gonna defend somebody for doing shit like this. This is just corny. You got critiqued a little hard or whatever. Somebody said something maybe you didn't like, and you immediately run to start abusing fucking YouTube's copyright system, which is notoriously an issue anyway. People abusing these kinds of YouTube guidelines and whatnot to try and basically fucking one up the people they don't like and everything. So that's just weird, bro. And then a lot of people are, well, you're not giving him any benefit of the doubt. How do you know he really did it? Well, it has nothing to do with that. I mean, he's had several instances where he could have spoken out and been like, hey, I'm not the one who issued the claim. If that's the case and he didn't do it, he at any time could have just been like, hey, it wasn't me. It was an imposter. Something among us. And everyone would have fucked off behind him. I mean, that makes sense. That would have been pretty plausible. But instead, it's now gone down this fucking road where it's 10 times more of a situation than it ever would have been. And now people believe that Dark Viper is doing this shit maliciously. I mean, doing it maliciously. And I mean, even if you look closer into, the emails and whatnot, Dark Viper openly says in the, dispute or whatever, he's willing to take this to court. He's willing to, go legally against Chun Logic here. All I gotta say is, man, if we got to Chun Logic start up the fucking fundraiser, bro, I'll donate you a couple bucks for your defense or whatever in this case. I don't know, I really don't see Dark Viper doing that. I mean, this is a guy who won't even fucking address it happening in the first place, even if you pay him to on stream. I really don't see him going out of his way to spend countless dollars to probably lose a court case on established law. So, I don't know, man. Anyway, with that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at
Kinetic armor charge.
Make sure to check out Shoptimus down below. Thank you to my Watch Optimus subscribers. Your support helps us tremendously.
Infantry neutralized.
Guys, this is Optimus. Not really cool with copyright claims like this, man. Not cool. And signing out.
Kinetic armor discharge. Threat neutralized.
This post is sponsored by Rite Aid. I don't know about your kids, but mine always hit me at the last minute with Sunday. My daughter thought I wanted to make a holiday charcuterie board for one of her friends.
Ruined.
Which had an assortment of
UAV
awaiting orders. And even gifts for under $25.
Counter UAV on standby.
You know we gotta grab that Thrifty's ice cream. Right now they have a limited edition of the peppermint, which was given like a bougie chip. I don't know, it was so good. But we got back, put the order together, and I'm so happy that we did this because it gave us a little mommy and me bonding time.
Be
So
advised.
stop at your
Hostile
local
UAV
Everything gifts, decor, and more. Happy holidays.
TACOM, deploy counter UAV.
Drone overhead. Counter surveillance sector.
It's estimated that
Sensors have kept
net,
you out of jail.
someone will do something that will make
Counter
history
UAV
lose
destroyed.
ignorance and not story. Many of
UAV
these
MPL
stories that
50%
have
check.
today originated from media sites and
UAV destroyed.
scandals. In this compilation video, we go back in time about all the social media scandals I've ever covered since October 2022. We'll be bouncing between the likes of YouTube, TikTok, Snapchat, Spotify, SoundCloud, OnlyFans, Kick, and many, many more. All of this to unearth the shocking controversies and
Be advised.
conducted
Hostile
by
UAV
characters that
incoming.
exude the worst traits that man has to offer. So kick back, relax, maybe drift off to sleep if you want, and let's get right into it.
Incoming nade!
Since its launch over 17 years ago, YouTube has been a staple in our everyday lives. It's become
Hostile
a
UAV
rich
above.
tapestry of human creation, the highs and the lows, and I know my audience love to linger on the lows. So in this video, we're doing a deep dive into YouTube's most
Armor
scandalous
down.
scandals. We need to do it now while the tea is still warm, because these scandals have just been popping up
Counter
around us
UAV
these past
inbound.
weeks. So please be sure to follow me on all of my
UAV
socials,
inbound.
each of which are linked in the description of this video. And with that said, let's get into things. We're going to start out with some more recent breaking stories before we delve into the classics. So, the place to start
No
is
match
Ned
wasted.
Bomber's cheating scandal. Now, here's the thing. I've seen a bit of the Try Guys back in the day, and he was my favourite of the four, so I take no pleasure in telling this story. But with that said, if you've somehow been living under a rock and don't know who the Try Guys are, you were perhaps
EKIA.
BuzzFeed's most famous employees back in the day. Probably their most successful since leaving the site. And their deal was that they would try things out. Even adultery. Even celebrity
Against the wall. Press your advantage.
Yep, they tried things out. Tried to explain drag race to straight men to trying to get diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. Now, each of the
UAV
guys
on
had their
standby.
own thing, their own personality.
Counter UAV on standby.
He's the small one,
In position.
and he
CM deployed.
wears glasses. Eugene, he's
Establish perimeter.
introverted.
ATL.
He has a big mouth.
UAV
And he likes
destroyed.
eating. And he also wears glasses. And then there was Ned, whose entire thing was just a family man.
UAV destroyed.
Apparently not enough to not jam his tongue down his employee's throat, though. Said employee
Be
was due to be
advised.
married.
Hostile
and
UAV
was
incoming.
caught out in public making out and touching each other. This proved the rumours of the Try Guys fans who've been noticing that Ned had recently been edited out of some of the more recent videos. And he, as well as his wife, have since come out with restatements. With Ned
Hostile
outspoken
EXP.
relationship, and Ariel saying that she
Make
was
entire
privacy
CDC proud.
this tough time.
Mobile
All of this
artillery
is,
getting the
again,
win.
Such a shock considering that for anyone watching the Try Guys, they always see Ned as a figure in this family man, but this is yet another example that goes to show that we really don't know our favourite online creators. That no matter how much
At
we
least you
think
filed
we
like you
might
got
know
a
about
pair.
them, we're really just lying to ourselves. With that said, I definitely think they should delete the video where the Try Guys try out bridesmaids dresses for Ned's mistress, because that has really not aged well, or anything else that's come out of this man's mouth for the past decade for that matter. As a result of this, the Try Guys have parted ways with Ned, and we're still waiting for a response from the YouTube group. Perhaps by the time this video comes out, we'll have some answers, but as of the 29th of September 2022, when I'm writing this, nothing yet has surfaced. For our second and final very recent story, we have one that's been much more hushed around online spaces. It's been somewhat swept under the rug, it seems, and a lot of people I know didn't have a clue about this, despite the fact that it came out a few weeks ago now. So we need to talk about Dave from Boy in a Band. He's best known for his song back in 2015, Don't Stay in School, which, by the way, that title has not aged well whatsoever. But this song brought up some really interesting and well-made points about the modern school system in a hit rap that captured the attention of tens of millions. From there, he grew his YouTube channel, gaining millions of subscribers and collaborating with only the best and most famous content creators in the world. PewDiePie, iDubbbz, Jaden Animation, The Odd Ones Out, huge names. And I hate to break it to you if you don't know this already, I hate to be the guy to say it because I watched a lot of his content in the past. I really enjoyed it too, but some of the accusations that have been levied against him are very, very serious. He hasn't come out to confirm nor deny these stories.
We decided to stick an eye.
He's actually...
Remember that one time LEGO took their molds too far? And come on, guys, admit, that revolver mold from Lone Rancher's theme? Pretty questionable. I mean, it's clearly on par with brick arms. It's genuinely perfect. I think LEGO's decision to retire the piece after its two-color run and limited theme was the right choice. I think it was too accurate. Now, the Indie Line's return this year brought a new mold to the classic and iconic revolver. Okay, no, not that one.
He's been radio silent on social media for years now, but long story short, a number of women...
Get unbeatable Black Friday deals at Dick's Warehouse Sales Store. Stock up on gifts.
Will and Jada Pinkett Smith were long romanticized in Hollywood as the perfect couple. They proved that it's possible for two people to be incredibly successful A-list celebrities.
Get kinetic.
Good effect. Ruin down. Enemy FO down.
UAV inbound. Sniper kill.
Enemy down.
Hostile UAV above.
Shit! Back away! Kinetic armor good to go. Down.
Friendly oxygen deployed.
Nomad wasted. Got a threat.
UAV
Nomad
inbound.
killed. Tango down.
UAV awaiting orders. Counter UAV on standby.
Outrider KIA.
Smoked.
TACOM, deploy CUAV.
Drone overhead. Counters available.
Outrider
In
neutralized.
the term, sensors on capture your objective.
Smoke check.
UAV friendly hardened sensor deployed. Midway, fuel check complete. Thanks for the work. UAV departing AO. Counter UAV power levels low. RTB.
EKIA.
There goes. All objectives secured. Great job.
What? It's over? Already?
Thought you had me? I was always one step ahead.
We now know that was all a lie. The Smith family was an image carefully crafted to look like the perfect family, while it was an utter mess on the inside. And over the past few years, all of their deepest secrets have been revealed to the entire world. Once you hear the full story, your opinions of Will and Jada might change. Because we are going to dive deep and look at every detail that built up to one of the most abstract, confusing, and preventable marriages of all time. Starting with the fact that Jada didn't want to be with Will in the first place. In 1994, Will Smith was married to his now ex-wife, Cherie Zampino. They also had a 2-year-old son named Trey, but Will was spending a lot of time with actress Jada Pinkett despite having a wife and baby at home. Jada auditioned for a role in season 5 of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, which was arguably the most influential and popular 90s sitcom in history. The New York Times said The Fresh Prince had put rap into the mainstream. Every week, nearly 20 million viewers tuned in to see Smith and the Banks family, with a quarter of the national television audience watching at its peak. Jada auditioned to be Will's girlfriend, Lisa, and came close to booking the role, but didn't because producers thought Jada looked too short when sharing the screen with Will. The role ultimately went to Nia Long, who was just 2 inches taller than Jada. Will tried to approach Jada to console her. She shrugged him off, but he says it was love at first sight. The two say Will did not have an affair, but Will was head over heels for another woman that wasn't his wife. We sat down at the Baked Potato and talked. There was a really unique, beautiful power. We had that moment, and we connected, but I was married. Funny enough, this wasn't the first time Will fell in love with someone that wasn't his wife. He admits in his memoir that he fell in love with his co-star, Stockard Channing, while filming 1993's 6 Degrees of Separation. Will's unfaithful tendencies are not that surprising considering he was a 6'2", 25-year-old movie star, television star, and rap star. But it was an early sign that maybe marriage wasn't for him. Will claims he never would have divorced his wife Cherie if she didn't initiate it first. We were at the Palm, and I remember I had to get up from dinner when I had a realization that I wasn't with the person I was supposed to be with. Will rushed to the bathroom in the Palm and broke down in tears. His marriage eventually reached a breaking point, and Cherie filed for divorce on Valentine's Day in 1995. Cherie filed for a divorce, rightfully. She called herself my placeholder wife. She said that she just had to be there to hold the position of wife in Will Smith's perfect life. The most important takeaway from this is Will's willingness to remain in a marriage that he was not emotionally invested in for the sake of maintaining his image to the world. Something that would not change with Jada. Jada obviously was interested in Will, but her own morality tried to convince him to fight for his family and make things work. However, Will proceeded with the divorce and contacted Jada the moment he signed the divorce papers, saying, I literally walked right out and signed the divorce papers and I called Jada. I said, hey Jada, what's up? Will. She said, hey, thank you. I said, good, are you seeing me fight? She said, no. And I said, you're seeing me. Jada went along with it because her life was about to fall apart. Jada's mother, Adrian, became pregnant in high school. Growing up in Baltimore, Maryland, Jada was ready for deployment. Father. One night it got so bad that
Request
Adrian
UAV.
temporarily
My AO.
Her marriage was short-lived. As a teenager struggling to raise a child, Adrian dealt with a heroin addiction. Jada's child UAV has been eliminated. She couldn't make enough time to pick me up.
Hostiles have destroyed the
nodding off, falling asleep in the middle of something. Jada's environment and upbringing was encountered drugs. She was living a double life, going to Baltimore school for the arts during the day, dealing at night. Her mother eventually put her foot down and Jada responded by graduating high school before enrolling at the North Carolina School of the Arts. She dropped out of college after 1 year to Los Angeles. Jada's talent and good looks landed minor roles in TV shows like 21 Jump Street and Getting Out There. Producer Getting Allen gave her a different world, which blew her up.
Authorizing UAV release.
Recurring role in The Cosby Show, where her role in Ronnie, the love interest in Menace to Society, made her culturally beloved, and hip-hop fans loved that movie. Jada successfully made it out of the struggle.
UAV destroyed.
Nerd gummy cluster. A crunchy outside with a sweet gummy center. Nerd, shake things up.
Get
Now Jada was pregnant. Power Jada's personal beliefs. And everyone was declared. But my mother was pregnant and had to get married. She's cool. And Will wanted to marry. So I said, alright, maybe it's something I should do. Jada's grandmother called Will and cried her freaking eyes out. So then I had to have a wedding, and that was infuriating. Will, Jada held her ground as long as she could. But the wedding pressure, like with family and friends, became too much. She was in her second trimester, she was tired and uncomfortable, and didn't want to argue. So she went home. The couple married on New Year's Day, 1997, in a private ceremony in America. However, everyone in the ceremony seemed ecstatic, besides the bride.
And I was so upset that I had to have a wedding. I was so pissed. I went crying down the freaking aisle. Jada referred to the ceremony as because Jada's grandmother was more excited than her. While the event itself was joyful and heartwarming, this would be the first of many compromises Jada would make over the years that painfully negated her own values. She had boarded the will train. There was no way off. But why was she so against the idea of marriage? Just never really agreed with the construct. I just don't agree.
Thought you had me? I was always one step ahead.
It's real for me. It's just all of the rules and all of the ideas.
As a wife,
You know, yeah, as a husband, you're supposed to do this. Instead of really just exactly right because of this title, wife is a very difficult. The accepted conventional definition of wife.
I got up. Yeah. No, I was sleeping. I also took a nap earlier. How are you?
How are you?
Good.
I heard you got some checks at Jersey Mike's.
Oh yeah.
Surprised?
Yeah, they had like 4. Okay.
Maybe you can help me with some Thanksgiving prep.
Yeah, I want to make something for Thanksgiving.
Okay.
So badly.
I don't know if I've ever said this. You know how I'm a scientist, so everything is science for me.
Yes.
I read something when we first got together that the most successful men in history have been married.
Right.
I knew that I would squander my life if I was running around.
Yeah.
Okay.
The way my mind works, I can only excel for a woman.
When the woman who does not believe in the basic fundamentals of a marriage gets coerced to marry a man who only wants a wife so he doesn't derail his perfect career, what could possibly go wrong? I'm having a lot of fun playing fantasy sports these days, and that's where today's sponsor, Underdog Fantasy, comes in. Underdog is the easiest way to play fantasy sports. Not just football, you can make picks on baseball, basketball, hockey, UFC, and more. Just pick whether you think your player's stats will be higher or lower, and you can make big money. You can make your own entry with as few as 2 picks and 3 times your money, or go bigger and win up to 20 times. Right now, Underdog is giving new customers a special pick for Patrick Mahomes. All he needs to do is have 1 yard to win. Here are my picks for Week 11 of the NFL season, and if I hit all of them, I'll 3 times my money. I've got a special promo. Underdog is offering new users a $100 deposit match. That's right, $100. Underdog's pick'em games are available in 30+ states, including California, Texas, and Canada. All you have to do is click the link below or download Underdog in the App Store.
Lock and load.
FCC. That's Underdog Fantasy. Promo code FCC for a first deposit match worth up to $100. It makes watching the NFL more interesting for me, so rep your team and make your own picks with Underdog. The couple welcomed their son, Jason Smith, on July 8, 1998, and their daughter, Willow Camille Rain Smith, on October 31st, 2000. Boy and a little girl will continue to dominate Hollywood with hits like Men in Black, Bad Boys series, and Will's perfect family needed the perfect home. The 256-acre mansion that Will desired, but Jada despised. She expressed how it was too big, too expensive, and too much space. Will's dreams couldn't be compromised. He bought it anyway. Nothing good comes from spending your money. The life that you want. You are
one of the most commercially successful films in cinema history.
Ambush hunter down.
I Am Legend,
UAV awaiting orders.
Happiness are just a few of the multiple $100 million franchises he started. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Battery, requesting UAV support.
But his legacy extended beyond the
Enemy down.
production company.
Counter UAV awaiting orders.
He pushed the boundaries of his acting career. Will became widely regarded as a highly skilled and versatile actor. His acting
Shut out. Vector smoke.
By the 2010s, Will has solidified his name as one of the greatest actors of his generation. Jada and Will were involved in this chaotic industry. Yet Will's
Hostiles
career
destroyed your counter UAV.
They're gone.
Will Smith's wife, which is kind of what he wanted.
Be
Jada
advised,
only
hostile
appeared
Kill.
until landing more
Talon awaiting orders.
in the Matrix series and Gloria in Madagascar. To make the result even stronger, Jada's children were becoming superstars in their own right. Willow's music career started off on fire with My Hair, its massive box office hits, The Pursuit of Happiness, and The Karate Kid.
Assault unit down.
Prize, which was presented by the Smiths, and the only interview
Externally, our family was winning, and there was a period mommy woke up and cried 45 days straight.
Nomad KIA.
Every morning. I think that's the worst I've ever felt in our marriage.
Something this big, this luxurious, shouldn't feel like a Mazda. And yet, it does. The three-wheel Mazda CX-90.
These are the best holiday gift sets of the season with incredible savings. Perfect gift for every beauty lover on your wish list.
Good effect.
Just to earn double rewards.
UAV ready for tasking.
Shut out.
Counter UAV awaiting orders.
Demo splash.
in his memoir.
TACOM. Deploy counter UAV.
Argument that stemmed from a list of priorities.
Team kill.
Will, herself, and extended family and friends. Jada, the children. Jada was devastated to read Will prioritize himself and betray Jada.
Counter UAV destroyed.
And if he doesn't take care of himself first, he couldn't survive the rest of his family. The damage was already done. Her heart was shattered. She didn't even wipe her tears. Jada stuck around in this marriage that she never wanted in the first place so long because of her kids and the pressure to maintain the image created around the Smiths. On one hand, I wanted a career. I worked so hard, and yet there I was, strung out on having to make based on matches. Should I be a star? Should I be a mom? A wife?
Armor up.
I feel like Jada was ungrateful.
Hell yeah.
Look at everything that I've done for you.
That was another
Friendly
thing.
UAV
But that was
inbound.
the other thing because there were times I felt ungrateful. Because I was like, look at Sean.
Smoke checked.
So unhappy. That used to be a
Nomad KIA.
Children realized they were failing. Will recalled a moment where he was eating ice cream in the kitchen with his daughter and wife. Willow turned to Jada and said, "It's so sad. Daddy has a picture of a family in his mind. This is a stable relationship with not last." 2011, they reached a tipping point. August 2011, and Jada was having an affair with Mark Anthony, her co-star on Hawkeye. At the time, Anthony was the subject of many tabloids following his public separation. However, Jada referenced a statement saying, "All of the rumors regarding Mark Anthony and Jada are false." But the straw that finally broke the camel's back was during Jada's 40th birthday celebration. Will had started prepping for Jada's 40th 3 years earlier. He invited hundreds of guests, friends, family, other celebrities to a weekend-long celebration in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Mary J. Blige was
Hostile
the
UAV
guests were
above.
involved in this beautiful celebration.
Hardened sentry deployed.
KIA.
Tracing Jada's family
Break
lineage
inbound.
back to slavery. Will resurfaced unseen pictures. Grandmother, her family had never heard.
Nomad kill.
Messages from her grandmother that broadcasted to hundreds of people at the party.
Kinetic
Entire
armor
place
discharge.
tears. Her family, my family, everybody, all except Jada. She sat in silence, refusing to
All mission objectives met. Prep for evac.
Mobile artillery, get in the wind.
Which would mean that they were technically separated.
Nomad KIA.
Insiders claimed Will and Margot were getting close on set, even skipping the rap party to hang out.
You fought like you got a pair.
Star Magazine added fuel to the fire, reporting a photo of an incident where Will appeared shirtless, and Margot lifted her shirt to reveal lingerie. According to the source, Will appeared as if he was not married. The public assumed he and Margot were either having an affair or that he and Jada were in an open relationship. We now know that he and Jada were separated, and in 2013, Jada responded to the rumors, almost letting the cat out of the bag. He can do whatever he wants because at the end of the day, Will is his own man. This statement further confused the public, who took it as confirmation of an open relationship. Jada later rewrote her statement on Facebook saying, "Here's how I will change my statement. Will and I both can do whatever we want because we trust each other to do so. This does not mean we have an open relationship. This means we have a grown one." Margot addressed the rumors on Twitter. There's absolutely no truth to the ridiculous rumor in Star Mag. It's disappointing that goofing around on set could be taken so out of context. Their relationship remained estranged behind the scenes, but in public, Will and Jada continued showing up to red carpet events and award shows together hand in hand. To make things even more confusing, she said this on Queen Latifah's show in 2014.
Jada would come into my trailer and tell me, girl, she was in love. Yeah. And still will. And still are. Yeah.
Followed up by an interview on Howard Stern a few months later where she said,
"Here's what's real. I'm not the kind of woman that believes that a man is not going to be attracted to other women. I'm just not that girl. It's just not realistic, right?
Right.
And just because your man is attracted to another woman does not mean he doesn't love you.
Right.
He does. That's not what it means, and it doesn't mean he's going to act on it."
By this point, Jada had said enough to make everyone believe that they were in an open relationship, which would get even more complicated when Jada got into her infamous entanglement with August Alsina. But before we jump into that, let me just clarify a few things. It's important to understand that Will says they separated in 2011 after Jada's 40th birthday disaster, but Jada says they separated in 2016. That's a huge difference, and we don't really know why they say two different things. Now, in 2018, Jada and Will started sharing a lot of their life on social media. Will started posting vlogs on YouTube, and Jada started hosting a podcast/talk show on Facebook called Red Table Talk, alongside her mother and daughter. Jada gave her hundreds of thousands of viewers insight into her life and relationship, and it was around this time when people started to realize the Jada and Will love was mostly a facade.
Roger that, Prophet. On your six.
Specifically in episodes 11 and 12, which featured Will, accumulated tens of millions of views. These episodes covered a lot of the information that you learned.
You have a great life.
People were amazed at their open and honest communication, but they were talking about their relationship like they were divorced, and they were also not wearing wedding rings. They even say they weren't married anymore. They claim they are life partners and have redefined the definition of husband and wife to fit. June 21st, 2020 was another episode where Will and Jada sat down and did another extremely deep dive into their marriage. They laughed, cried, and seemed like the most themselves. And if you're confused, feeling, are they married, are they separated, are they divorced? That's literally how everyone else felt. But just 8 days after Will and Jada shared news about his relationship with Jada that would shock the world.
I actually sat down with Will and had
Infantry neutralized.
And I totally gave myself to that relationship because of my life. And I truly and really, really deeply love that.
Not only did he fall head over heels into deep love with Jada, but he even had a conversation with Will about it and received his approval. This led to people calling Will a CUCK, but others just looked at it as an open relationship. The discourse online about it made Jada sit down on her Red Table Talk show 3 weeks after August broke the news, where they attempted to address all the rumors, but it just got worse. Jada sits down in front of Will and tells her all about her friendship with R&B singer from New Orleans, creating straight-up baby-making bangers. He had been suffering from a severe autoimmune disease that attacked his liver. The illness led to multiple incidents, including a collapse on stage in 2014, which ended up in a 3-day coma. In 2015, he battled a degenerative eye disease that nearly caused him to go blind. When he met the Smith family through befriending Jaden, August was at a very low point in his life. Jada seemingly took her friend's son under her wing with the intention of helping him heal, but it progressed into a full-blown relationship. They They also mentioned that August came into their life when Jada and Will were broken up.
I really felt like...
Kinetic armor, good to go.
And then what did you do, Jada? I think you need to say clearly.
Show me the Carfax value. You get the most accurate price based on the vehicle's accident history. How can you tell which one's the better deal?
Bringing down
That's great. But let's say, show me the Carfax value. You get the most accurate price based on the vehicle's accident history. Shop at the ultimate Carfax value.
As far as what?
You and I decided we were going to take our space and
Yeah, and then I got into an entanglement with August. That's what I said.
an entanglement.
Yes. Yes.
A relationship.
Yes, it was a relationship.
Based on Will's tone and his demand for Jada to admit it was a relationship, it seemed like he was still upset.
Drop.
Because I wasn't sure I was ever going to speak to you.
I know.
Like,
Sarah,
like
AIA.
speaking to you again.
Smoke check.
I would agree.
No, but it ain't hard.
There was a little more pain in Will's voice. Will's obvious distress became a huge theme online. In the end, nobody knew the long history of their complicated life partnership. All they thought was Will Smith's wife just got him on a podcast to tell him how much she loved another man. But there's a really interesting part of this interview that most people missed.
I'm going to get you back first, and then...
You gonna get me back? I think you got me back. I think we're good on that.
Okay, that might hurt my true.
Will jokingly said he is going to get her back, then immediately admits that he probably had this coming after all these years of Jada putting up with him. What he did not realize is that he would not stop being embarrassed for this moment. It was only first. On March 27th, 2022, Will and Jada attended the 2022 Oscars together. That night, Will was nominated for Best Actor for his portrayal of However, things took a strange turn after Chris Rock made a joke about Jada, who has spoken openly about having alopecia, a hair loss condition. Chris compared Jada to Lieutenant Jordan O'Neill, the star of G.I. Jane, notorious for her short buzz-cut hairstyle. Will initially laughed, but then made it clear he didn't appreciate the joke as he stormed on stage and smacked Chris before telling him to keep my wife's name out of his mouth. From the silence of the audience and the look on Chris's face, it seems like the reaction was 100% unscripted. Despite this encounter, Chris didn't press charges, and Will won his first Oscar as Best Actor in controversy. This laugh ignited the highest overall engagement on Twitter in history, and basically nobody was on his side. They pointed out he was initially laughing, then changed his demeanor once he saw Jada was upset. They used the entanglement situation to justify that Will is just Jada's puppet that does whatever she says. However, even Jada was confused by what Will did and said
I actually didn't go to the Oscars as Will's wife. And I know for people that's